Freaking phone keeps ringing. Are you done? Okay. Hey guys, it's Brianna, and it has been a while since I filmed a video. I feel like I say that every time I film, considering I'm very inconsistent, but I felt like filming today. So here I am. Don't know if videos will be consistent after this. Honestly, they probably won't be. So I guess enjoy this one for what it is. We are talking about October favorites. I have been loving a lot of new stuff this month. If you see me looking down, it's because I have my phone with a list of everything on it. We will start out with clothing favorites. Now my clothing favorite is a little bit different this month, I guess you could say, and that is jeans, but not just any jeans. These are American Eagle jeans, but that doesn't even really explain why these are my favorite for this month. So if you notice something about the waistband of these jeans, see how it's kind of like cinched in a little bit? Well, I will link it below, but I found a YouTube tutorial, actually there's quite a few on how to do this, but I'll link my favorite one below, of how to essentially make your pants cinched in at the waist, because originally I was going to get all of my jeans tailored. I know a lot of other girls struggle with the same thing that I do, which is essentially that like jean sizes just don't fit. So like your butt and your legs are a different size from your waist. So the waists on all my jeans are always way too big, but if I go down a size, the jeans themselves are like too tight in the legs and the butt. So what I did was I took my handy dandy American Eagle jeans, never saying handy dandy ever again, noted, and you can see my ugly Frankenstein stitching. You get like an elastic band, kind of similar to, you know, when you're a kid and they always have those adjustable waist shorts and jeans with that little stretchy band on the inside and then the buttons so that you can tighten them. That's exactly what this is, but without the buttons. So basically you cut, so you don't have to have any like crazy sewing skills or anything, just a lot of patience. I did this with 3 pairs of jeans, and honestly it was a lifesaver because you know how you, like, I feel like there's always a little gap on the top of my jeans. You know what I'm talking about? In the back, that little gap. Now all my jeans fit great. Next I have a makeup favorite. I have been loving my Lorac Pro eyeshadow palette. It looks a little gross, but that just means it's well loved. I've had this for years, and I just now started getting back into using it just because I got rid of a lot of my makeup. I used to be way more into makeup than I am now. I rarely ever wear eyeshadow or do like a full face of makeup. The most I usually do is like concealer and mascara and blush and sometimes a lip color, but I started playing with more eyeshadows, but I still just like neutrals. So this is the perfect palette for that. Some people swear by the Naked palette. I really like this one because I think it gives more of a variety, I guess you could say. Everything that I show in this video, if I'm able to find them online, if you guys are interested, I will put links below. But yeah, I love this. Then sort of like a skincare, I guess you could say, product. I have this. It is the Aveeno Skin Relief hand cream, the intense moisture one, because it's starting to get colder out, at least where I am in Massachusetts. It's starting to get cold, so my skin gets super dry. So this is amazing. It's the hand cream version. But then I also use the Aveeno Daily Moisturizing Lotion. This is like the big mama bottle size, and this is good for just like all over body lotion. I use it when I get out of the shower, but these are amazing for this time of year. And I'm really picky when it comes to lotions because I hate feeling super greasy or sticky, but I also want the product to feel like it's working. And I find that these make your skin super duper soft, but it doesn't leave you feeling sticky for hours. It soaks in pretty quick. So I really enjoy the Aveeno products. I have been loving a lot of TV shows this month, but my top 3 have been New Girl. I used to watch New Girl all the time. It's just a great show to kind of like put on in the background, chill. You don't really have to pay too much attention to it. The characters are super funny. It's just like a weird little sitcom-y show, and I love it. I recently finished season 7, which is the final season of the show, and I really enjoyed it. So if you haven't watched any of New Girl, you should check it out if you like that kind of TV. Another show I've been liking is called Atypical, and I think season 3 just came out on Netflix. I've watched like the first 2 episodes of it so far. I watched seasons 1 and 2 a while ago, but I just got back into it. And I just love this show because I don't think it's like anything else that's on right now. It follows a boy with autism named Sam and his family, and it basically is just like a comedy / drama sitcom type of show where they go through the struggles of raising a kid with autism, and also just like Sam adjusting to college life, and his sister also is a big part of the show. So it's just a really good show, and it's available on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, check it out. New Girl is also on Netflix as well. Another show I've been loving, I believe I've talked about this before in a favorites video, but The Walking Dead is back. I've been loving it this season. We've got The Whisperers now, so if you haven't watched this season, or if you kind of fell off the bandwagon with The Walking Dead a while back, you should definitely get back into it. I know a lot of people fell off when it started to get a little bit slow, but it seems like it's picking back up again, so we will see. We've got Negan, who's like trying to make a comeback. We've got Alpha, potentially an Alpha versus Carol situation, maybe Daryl in a new romance situation. So without giving too much away, you should start watching this season if you're not watching it already. And kind of piggybacking off of that, my app favorite this month is an app called TVco. If you don't already know, it is a live streaming app where essentially people go to chat about their favorite TV shows. I got into it because of Big Brother, which if you've been watching my videos, you know that I love Big Brother and I have a podcast for Big Brother. So I started doing live streams on TVco for Big Brother, and now the Big Brother season is over. I do weekly live streams for The Walking Dead, also for Riverdale and for The Voice. So if you enjoy any of those shows, or you're just interested in TV and love talking about it, you should download the app and follow me at ItsMeBriLee, and also check out some of the other amazing creators on there, because there's a ton of us that are live streaming for our favorite shows on there. It's really good also if you're interested in reality TV, so there's like Big Brother on there, there's The Challenge, Survivor, there's a lot of Bravo shows, Real Housewives, and all that kind of thing. So if you're interested in reality TV, definitely check it out. Another app favorite is Couch to 5K. There's a lot of different Couch to 5K apps, but essentially what it is, it's an app that's supposed to get you from your butt on your couch to running a 5K. And it's kind of like interval training. Basically, it's a series of walking and jogging. As the weeks go on, they switch it up and they make the running sections longer and the walking sections shorter. And eventually you're supposed to be able to get to 5K. I think I'm on like week 4 right now. And it's just another good way to get active. I've never been big into running, but I figured I would try it out. A 5K is a super achievable goal, I feel like, so we will see. I don't have any plans to do any like marathons or like crazy races or anything. It's just another way to get active, especially because it's starting to get colder outside. So this is something I can also do on the treadmill we have at home, which is nice. Next up, let's talk about books. I have been super into reading this month, and I sort of got into the routine of reading every single night before I go to bed. The book that I had been reading this month was Stephen King's The Dark Tower. It is the last book in the Dark Tower series, actually. This thing is massive. It's about just over 800 pages. And it is a part of, like I said, the Dark Tower series, which has 8 books. It took me forever to read all 8.
Let's see if I can. These are all 8 of them.
Here you go. all 8 books. I don't know if they're all fitting in this frame or not, but this is all the books. I've been reading these for a while. I was kind of doing them off and on a little bit because it is a lot of reading, and it's a really, not a heavy series, but like a very involved book series, if that makes sense. But if you're into Stephen King and you like sci-fi, you will definitely enjoy these books. I recommend you read them. If you've never read any Stephen King, maybe start out with one of his other books and then go into this series. But if you've never read any Stephen King or you're new to Stephen King, you should try to read this series towards the beginning of your Stephen King book journey, because pretty much all of his other stories are somehow related to the Dark Tower series, whether it's just like little references here and there that are tossed into his other books or blatant ties to this series. There's always some sort of connection to this. So definitely give it a read. Now let's move on to my favorite things to listen to this month. I've got some music and podcast recommendations in here. My favorite song that I had been loving for the month of October, and I'm still loving, is How Do You Sleep by Sam Smith. I have seen Sam Smith in concert, probably one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to. If you haven't heard this song, you should definitely take a listen. It is just so catchy and so fun, and also just like very real and raw. So take a listen to that. I'm excited to see if Sam puts out any new music, because there's been some teases on social media that something might be coming soon. So I am hoping and praying we're getting a new album very soon. And then I have 2 podcast recommendations. I'm listening to a ton of podcasts right now, but my current 2 recommendations are Martinis and Murder, which is a podcast by Oxygen. It is hosted by John and Darren. And basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. They have themed cocktails and they talk about true crime, essentially. So they'll break down different cases and stuff like that and sort of give you a less harsh look at these different crazy murder stories. Another podcast that I've been loving is called Stuff You Should Know. This podcast, I think, has been around for a long time. They have tons and tons of episodes on tons of different topics, and it's exactly what the title sounds like. It's basically explaining in detail different topics, anything from elephants to Area 51. I'm currently listening to the Area 51 episode. I recently listened to the episode about freedom schools. What else did I listen to recently? I listened to the Where Did Trick-or-Treating Come From episode, which was interesting, especially around Halloween. Oh, the Ed Gein episode was really good. Ed Gein was a serial killer, so that was super interesting and a little bit creepy. And yeah, like I said, I am like halfway through the How Area 51 Works episode. So it's a good one for just sort of scrolling through and finding a topic you're interested in hearing more about and then listening to it. You don't necessarily have to listen to every single episode, but just pick and choose the ones that are related to topics you might be interested in. I always like to throw a YouTube favorite in here, just something I have been loving watching this month. I have a feeling you know what I'm gonna say, but Shane Dawson's video series with Jeffree Star about creating the conspiracy palette and his whole little makeup collection. Like I said, I'm not too into like crazy makeup. I used to be super into like getting the new products and stuff, but I cleaned out a lot of my makeup recently and I only just use a lot of basic stuff. However, this series was so well done and just so interesting to see the behind the scenes of like how he created this whole makeup line, coming from somebody who didn't really know all too much about the makeup world and like how to apply makeup or like how to create makeup. So super interesting series. If you haven't watched it, which you likely already have, you definitely should. I did order the mini conspiracy palette just because I felt like after watching that whole series, I had to get something. Will I use it all that often? Probably not, but I'm excited to play around with it. And Shane sold out all of the products like within a couple days. So that was pretty crazy and cool to hear. And then I always like to throw in just like a favorite experience or memory or just like a random favorite in from the month. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Halloween because it is maybe my favorite holiday. I think Halloween and Christmas are kind of tied for me. I love dressing up. Costumes are like my favorite thing ever. So I figured I would toss in some of my costumes from this year. I actually have 3. But one of the parties is late. It's after Halloween, so I haven't actually dressed up yet. But spoiler alert, my brother and I are going as SpongeBob and Squidward. I am SpongeBob, he's Squidward, so I'm excited for that. That will be fun. And then the other 2 costumes that I did already happened, obviously, because Halloween has passed. I did a group costume with some of my friends, and we did characters from Grease, but rather than the girls being the pink ladies and the guys being the greasers, we switched it up. So us girls were the T-Birds and the boys were the pink ladies. I'll include some pictures. That was super fun. I kind of struggled a little bit trying to figure out the hair situation, but once I did, I think it came out pretty good. My friend Sophia and I also went to actually see Martinis and Murder live in Boston, and it was on Halloween, so they asked that people come in costume, and we went as Velma and Scooby-Doo, and I thought we came out super cute. She made like a little Scooby Snacks box and everything, and I had my little glasses and my turtleneck, so that was a fun one. I've been secretly wanting to do Velma for so long, just because like I have short hair, so I feel like it works. Those were my favorite costumes. Actually, those were all the costumes, but I guess they're all my favorite, so it counts. And I guess that's that. Let me know in the comments below if you like any of the stuff that I mentioned in this video, or if you had any standout favorites this month that I should know about. Don't forget to download the TV Co app and join me for live streams weekly on there. And yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're interested in any of the stuff that I talked about, I will do my best to include links below, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment as well. And last but not least, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get a notification every time I post a new video. And I think that's that, so I guess I will talk to you guys next time. I don't know when next time will be, but hopefully not too far from now. We'll see. Bye, guys.